In November of 1887, a small, dedicated group of women signed a charter making Topeka the latest city to join the fastest-growing women's organization in the world. There was no national organization at that time. There was no office space. There was no funding. They met in homes and above a spice mill. They worked tirelessly to raise money to provide housing for women with no other place to go. They worked to build an organization that would help meet the changing needs of women in ways they couldn't possibly have imagined. Generations of Topeka women have carried the banner forward, offering programming to help those in need, but also working to improve the roles of women. This year, the YWCA celebrates 125 years of courage.
The organization has been here 125 years, which is really quite a history. I read articles as early as 1893 about the work that the Y has done.
The YWCA is the largest and oldest women's organization in the United States.
We don't just have a job, we don't just have a list of programs, we have a mission. And we've had a mission for 125 years.
The mission of the YWCA is the elimination of racism, the empowerment of women, and we all work together, staff and volunteers and community leaders, to make that mission a reality.
It means that there is an organization that's really dedicated to removing barriers and creating opportunities for women and people of color.
We have a movement for women to be empowered to believe just because you're a girl doesn't mean that you can't achieve everything in your life that you want to do.
You know, the YWCA, as we all know, is 125. I'm not quite that old, but I'm getting up there too. And I think that you have to poke a little fun at yourself sometime or realize some of the humorous things that happen.
When they were playing in the gym, they used to, they wore bloomers and black stockings, and they would also use those in the pool. They were so heavy with all the fabric, they had to have ropes along to help make sure that somebody didn't go under and couldn't come up with all the fabric. So
we had green cotton tank suits, and if anybody remembers those, I know how old you are.
One of the things that we did for a little fundraiser was to take pledges from people who would say they would swim laps in the old pool. So my husband, Dick Hanger, went to an attorney friend of his, and he said, I'm going to swim laps for the girls to raise money at $5 a lap. Will you make a pledge for me? Oh yeah, I'll give you $5, Dick. So he went down to swim his laps, and he just kept swimming, and he just kept swimming, and he kept swimming. And finally, after 100 laps, they told him he had to quit, or else he probably would have done 200 laps. But anyway, at 100 laps. So he went up to see his attorney friend, and he said, well, I'm here to collect the pledge. And the guy probably thought he was going to have to pay him $30, $40. And he says, I swam 100 laps, that's $500. And the guy said, Hanger, I'm going to get you for that.
We have that long history of making sure that women in our community have a place to go.
It serves a population in our community that normally would not have the opportunity to be served.
they've taken on really difficult issues that nobody else has taken on. They're doing their part, and I really appreciate that.
I think it's a great foundation for women as far as making them leaders and giving them that courage. I'm very proud of my association and my volunteer time that I've spent with the YWCA.
It just expanded my life to be much fuller and have much more meaning.
I could say that my life has sort of been an example of some of the growth that women have experienced in the YWCA.
I don't think that I would be the person I am today if I hadn't had all of those experiences in the YWCA.
I think the YWCA has lasted 125 years here because of the commitment of staff and volunteers and because of the many people whose lives they've changed. And as long as we can keep on that same track of changing the lives of women and children in the Topeka community, we will last a very long time.
125 years of courage, thousands of stories. Who will be the next person to move the YWCA forward? Who will help empower women for the next 125 years? Will it be you? We need you. You can help us today.